All right, so excited everyone's here. I know we're going to be all in. Some of you can be on camera, some of you cannot. And there are several people who have already registered for the challenge that are not able to get on the call, but they're already actively doing the things that are going to cause them to have a successful day one of the challenge. So we're doing something a little different for December. This is the first inaugural 12-day challenge, and we're going to do it every year in December from December 1st through the 12th. And the idea is that we set the beginning of December up for such high success that you can be fully present with your family and the things that matter most in the second half of December every single year as a habit. Who's excited about that? Yes? Awesome.
And
Awesome, awesome. Okay. So welcome. We are going to have every reset call today on the 8th and on the 15th as planned at 1 p.m. And moving into next year, there's going to be a new schedule where we're going to have a CEO call instead of a reset call because you guys don't need a reset every week. You're choosing to be a part of the Legacy Collaborative because you chose to move from being a salesperson to a CEO of your business. So we're going to change the name of it. It's going to be at noon next year. We're not going to have any calls on Mondays for the last 2 Mondays of the year. And on the 15th, which will be the last Monday reset call ever, because we're going to change it to CEO and it will be at noon. That is when I'm going to give away 12 of my favorite things to whoever are the people that have entries into the challenge. Are you excited about that?
Yes.
Yes. Ross is like, yes, I'm winning. Okay, awesome.
ready.
Really competitive.
We have a lot of competitive people that have entered already, so this is going to be super fun.
I got two people signing up today.
Awesome. That's so awesome. All right. Also, Rasa is in the Wilmington, North Carolina area. She has been an amazing top luxury agent. I got to meet her when I helped run the office down there. That's important for you to know stuff. And she has been broker in charge. She does luxury real estate, and she is also starting her coaching company as well. So we have a lot of really exciting things going on here. All right, so welcome, welcome, welcome. Today's going to be slightly different. We do have a playbook, and I created a bonus tool for everyone that chose to invest your hour to be here today. Who was on the call where I went over like all the key metrics you should be looking at consistently? And it was kind of spread over 2 calls, but you guys got really excited about what the metrics were you should be looking at in your life and your business. Raise your virtual hand or your physical hand if you were on those where we went over like the lift formula and your conversions and your profit margin and all of that. Okay, a couple of you. Well, you're going to be excited because I was requested by some of my past Realtors on Fire people if I could make a spreadsheet for the lift formula. And I've already created it today. I was requested to do it this morning and it is ready to go. So I'm going to put it in the chat right now. And all of you guys can make a copy, save it, and that way you can use it for everything you're doing moving forward every year for you to define exactly what your profit goal is. And when you click on it and look at it, tell me who's excited about having that tool. You guys know I love spreadsheets, so I'm glad that you're as excited as I am. And here is the actual playbook for today that I'm about to share for you, so that you can open it up and just let me know when you have it to make sure everyone is on the same page. And if you're driving or doing something else, make sure minimally you save it on your desktop or save the link somewhere so that you can print it out for yourself. That's very important. Today's call is going to be setting up December for success, setting up your habits, and then setting up the challenge so that you know exactly what you're doing so all of you can win the challenge, right? We're going to have lots of opportunities to win, which is going to be super exciting. Let me know when everyone, if you just want to type in the chat, got it, for everyone who was able to open the playbook, which is the second document I just put in there, that would be great. So I can make sure everyone was able to open it. All right, lots of you have it. If anyone doesn't, if someone could post it in there one more time in case anyone joined right after, that'd be awesome. Okay, this is not another December gets messy talk, right? Because everyone has been posting December stressful, December's messy, December all these things. And that is not what we're choosing for our December. What if we choose to show up different in our life and our business than all the other people and help them also have more joy and presence in their December and be present in the things that matter most? Because we are. And I kind of want you to think about it as a bridge month. It's the month that tells your future when you're thinking about 2026, whether you mean business or whether you're still negotiating with your potential, right? You get to choose that. And many of you already have really great reflection habits and planning habits and things you do in December. And yet, I'm going to encourage you to incorporate the things we talk about today into whatever you already do, because I know you already have some level of planning and habits and thinking time, or you wouldn't already be where you are right now. Because this is a group of really successful people that are about to move into one of the most successful years that you've ever had in your lives because of how you're leaning in. So I decided to systematize a lot of the things you guys hear me talk about. And you know, I love systems. And that is what that document is. So I'm so glad that you're able to pull it up. It's super simple, and Jen is actually going to love this. I am planning on turning this specific document into a daily journal that will be published on Amazon before the end of January. So you will be able to take this and actually be able to fill it out in the morning or at the end of the day, every single day, and check in on where you are on your legacy. Also coming probably in the next week is I'll have a monthly assessment that you can take to see where you are on all of this, and you'll have a visual graph that'll be a circle to see how you're doing in all of the areas that we cover. Who loves assessments? Okay, I love them. So I just figured I would make some more that are more useful than like, you know, which Disney princess am I? Which is the ones that I sometimes take on Facebook. Okay. We're going to move into the legacy review. This is going to sound familiar with some of the things that we've talked about with the daily life assessment, especially if you're in coaching with me. So I just want you to think about this. First, what I want to ask is, what time of day? That's right, Jen. If you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be? That's a good assessment. What time of day is best for you that you're going to commit to if no one else is watching, for you to do a daily review of how you are doing in all of your key areas of life and business? And I want everyone to come off mute and share. Is it going to be night, morning, lunch? I don't have an opinion. I need you to make a daily habit and make a commitment. So go ahead and share if you already know what it is or you're making a new commitment now. Midday for Nicole, okay? Come off mute. This is interactive.
Mine's midday. It's at 3 o'clock.
3 p.m., okay?
Mine is going to be right before dinner is made. So maybe 5:30.
5:30, okay? Love that.
I'm trying to bring awareness around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I start so early, and my mornings are like rock star perfect. Couldn't do anything more fabulous with my mornings, and my evenings are great. I don't know what it is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but like my energy just tanks, and that's one of the reasons I try to get all of my big thinking stuff done first thing. And I've been thinking about this 3 o'clock time, like how I want to use it, and actually creating awareness around the 3 o'clock time, because it seems like I don't know, I forget every single day that 3 o'clock is like a horrible time for me, and I get amnesia around 3 o'clock. Like, what is wrong with me? And I'm like, oh yeah, this happened yesterday and the day before. So I think for me, I think I'm actually going to work on the awareness around this 3 o'clock and actually allow myself some downtime, maybe just sit, go grab a cup of tea, go read a little bit of something, put my feet up, whatever that is, instead of muscling it, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I think I'm going to echo the 3 o'clock, but probably for different reasons, other than maybe I just need to listen to my body more and just embrace the fact that I am worthless around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and just really not have amnesia around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Like there's nothing wrong with me. I'm literally just tired.
So does that mean that you're going to incorporate this at that time, or is that
Yeah,
still
I think I'm going to start setting a reminder, an alarm on my phone for about 2:30 every afternoon as a reminder that I'm getting ready to crash, and that this becomes part of my day, that it's okay for me to take an hour, hour and a half to just go recalibrate. Yeah, I think that's going to be my one piece of the day that's going to get recalibrated. So I quit forgetting that this happens every day.
Love it. You know, it's so interesting to me that so many people chose 3:30 or right before school or right before dinner, and kind of a daily wrap up, right? Like, what does that look like for you to understand, okay, here's what I accomplished, here's where I am, and take that daily pulse. And then sometimes it's morning for people and sometimes end of day. Minimally, I want 100% of you to commit right now that you have some time every day that you've allocated on your calendar. Nothing else is going to get in your way for you to just do a quick pulse check-in. So that is the one action item to make sure that you take away from this part. Kim said 8 p.m. Love that. It's in enough time for you to still get rest. So good.
I'm putting it in my phone literally as we're talking. Like right now, I am setting a daily alarm.
That is the best way, is to make sure it's on your calendar or in a way that you will commit to it in the moment. That is the best way.
Like, oh yeah, there's that.
So there are several different areas that are included on this if you have your document pulled up, right? So the first one on there that legacy stands for is love. And one of my favorite things happened this week is as I was preparing for this, I actually had a 5-day challenge that came into my email from Dean Graciosi, which I've been following for a long time. He's one of my top 10 people that I study to make sure I never become the lid on the people that I get to lead and coach. And he did a 5-day challenge, and love was actually included in that. Relationships was day 2 of his 5-day challenge. So I wanted to share with you some additional things to think about as you're looking at your document there. So he just said, what if over the next 7 days, you treat every important relationship that you have, whether it's your children, your spouse, your friends, as if this is the first week you met them and nothing could go wrong, whether it's sisters, parents. And he said, literally, if it's your children, it's like the first week they were born. Like, how do you just treat it as if everything's fresh and you're loving on them with that same possibility-filled, open effort before anything got in the way of it being that perfect version of the relationship? And then what if every time that you show love, you feel love in that moment, that you show love or do some loving action towards them? And that was a really powerful reflection for me. So I just wanted to help all of you guys think about that as well for the people that are important to you in your life, so that you could just approach people with that fresh, nothing else matters. I'm just going to give every moment of every way I can love you in this relationship. And come from genuine curiosity, be fully present, and think about what does it look like now, but what does it look like as you're heading into 2026? Because you always make a decision right now and then you create a habit out of it. So there's always 2 pieces to everything that we do as long as we look at it that way. The right now, and then what habit can I create so that this is a lasting part of what matters to me, if it does. So let's just take a second and have a couple people share what comes to mind for you when we're going over this piece of the legacy review for love and relationships. What's going on for you right now in your life that you want to make sure just gets 1% better, or one little shift that's going to happen for you based on this? And I can be quiet until 2 people share. So we'll just be looking at each other's beautiful pictures and faces.
I'll go.
Okay. Can you guys hear Shania? Okay.
Okay. I will say intentionally, I grew up in a household where we don't talk about things. But my husband grew up in a household where they do talk about things. So I have been intentionally talking about things because that's what he needs. And we've been doing so much better at communication. So I've been super proud of myself, actually. It's hard.
I love that. So what does that proactive communication look like for you guys?
It's just actively, like, even though like we see each other every day, it's just actively like checking in during text during the day, and then being intentional at the end of the day of asking each other about how our day was, just like, what'd you do today? Even though we talked during the day, how was work? Or is there anything different? Or just being intentional on asking those questions of like, how was your day? Because sometimes it can get like a routine, but it's like sometimes something exciting happens and then you wouldn't remember it and you wouldn't have shared it unless you were intentionally talking about it.
I love that so much. One of the things that I started doing probably 3 months after Adriana went to college, her first year, and she's in her second year, as most of you know, is I started asking her, what did she do well that day? Because it just helped her understand the momentum she was building as she was figuring out adulting, and still is, and still will be into the unforeseeable future, as all of us know. And it just helped her understand that she was doing something well when it was more natural for her to see all the gaps. And I also would share with her what I did well that day. So even if we navigated all the other normal conversations you have, at least we had those things to build on. And I was super grateful for that. And we are still doing it now. She just over the weekend did her first 12-hour shift in alignment with her CNA that she got over the summer. So she's getting applicable experience for her nursing degree right now because she chose to get that over the summer. And we talked all about that. So there's lots of things that you can do that are little small habits. Also, a gratitude jar. I've seen a lot of people post those. I'm sure some of you already do it. We haven't historically done it in our house yet. So that is something I'm planning to do in this area, is to have a gratitude jar for people to just put in there the little small things that are happening that we sometimes forget, so that we can read all of them at the end of next year. Okay, who else? One more person. What did you get, or what's coming up for you around this area right now?
I think I'll go. For me, I think with business, and it happens for those of us that are moms, we usually focus a lot on our kids, but after spending some time away with my husband celebrating our anniversary, I think I also need to be a little more intentional connecting with him and not I literally he's the last one on my on my list. But you think, well, he's an adult, he's also very busy. Doesn't matter if we're both in the house, we're both busy, like Shania said. So I get that, Shania. I had actually already thought about it, but yeah, this just reminds me to do it in a more intentional way and maybe not wait till the end of the day. Maybe do it smack in the middle before it starts getting crazy.
Love that. Great idea. And it doesn't matter if we have children, significant other, siblings, friends, right? Whoever are the people that we love the most, we have an opportunity to figure out what does that look like consistently. So go ahead and write down what you plan on in that area for you. And then this becomes a daily reflection habit that you can answer so that you can make sure you're making progress in that area. And I know some of you are not, but for those of you who are in position to turn your camera on, I love people who are on camera. That's no secret to anybody. I still love you if you're not, if you're like not safe and nobody needs to see you, but some of you just really love your headshots on your Zoom. Hi, let's go. Okay. The second one is economics. So what do you all think this means? Why do we look at this every day? Because money is a tool, right? Money is good for the good it can do. And we can use money for the things that matter in life and the things that matter to give back to, both. And both are important. And when you are running a business where you get to choose how much income you make, you are responsible for making sure you make an impact in whatever has been near and dear to your heart over the years. So that is why this matters. And everything moves and transforms and changes in this area over the years. So what the goal is for this is that you have one tiny wealth habit a day, that either you were intentional about making money that day or saving money that day. I would also add to that, or investing money, depending on how you're investing the cash flow that you have in your business. One of the things that Dean said in his challenge, because this was one of the areas that he focused on in that 5-day challenge as well, and I adopted some of that into this, is he said, set your 2026 income target bigger than the number that you already have chosen or that you've ever dared to say. And some of you, because you have been in coaching with me one-on-one, I already know that you're doing that. You're setting a bigger goal than what you initially thought you would set for 2026. And if you haven't yet,
I was told to.
Shania said she was told to. So if you haven't yet, I would challenge you. And what he says is write it down. So write it down right now, a bigger income goal than you had any idea you could achieve next year. I'll just share with all of you in case you need a little bit of inspiration. I've taken this challenge on myself, and who knows if I'm going to hit it. However, now I know it's just a matter of how, not if. And then it's just a matter of when. So my personal goal for the Legacy Collaborative coaching and events and everything we're doing is I've now stretched it to, how do I build a $2 million annual revenue business? And you all know I just started it this year. So that's a really big goal. And before this year, the biggest goal that I ever had for annual income is $250,000. And I never hit it. And what's going to happen is probably before January, before the end of January, I'll already be making enough a month for me to be in alignment with hitting that goal that I never hit before working for other people. And now I'm just going to continue to partner with so many businesses and help so many people win that it's just going to be a matter of when I hit it, not if. So write down the number that you're afraid to write down and then just figure out how. Remember, your money is going to grow where you have clarity of the direction you're going in. And the coolest part for me is I'm really clear on the things I'm going to do outside of myself, which is the only thing that allowed me to even think that big, because I struggled through thinking that I am deserving of that, but it's not about me. I want us to be able to buy houses for women, and I want us to be able to continue to raise a lot of money during our TLC Gives months. In November, we just did our first TLC Gives initiative, and we didn't do an excellent job of rolling it out, but next year we'll do much better, as everything is brand new this year. Just so you know, in November every year, we want everywhere that the Legacy Collaborative is present to be able to contribute to families in their community around Thanksgiving meals. So this year we raised about $1,200, and we gave 4 families gift certificates, individual gift certificates. And then Kina and Kina is Linder, that's a part of the Legacy Collaborative Vision team, who also is a part of a nonprofit. So we used her nonprofit link, so it was official, and we tracked it all well. So we went to a grocery store here that was being focused on during the time that ICE was in town, and we were able to pay for groceries for a whole bunch of families and individuals until we completed the amount of money that we had remaining. And the responses were amazing. We got a variety of responses. And so our goal is just to continue to do that everywhere that we're present, to be able to contribute to families in a total surprise way. And one of the 2 ladies, just so you guys know, for anyone who shared it, I want you to hear this. 2 ladies had a cleaning logo on their shirts, and they said, if we would have been able to work last week instead of stay home scared, we wouldn't have come today. And so everything worked out for us because we came today, and now we don't have to pay for our groceries. So it happened for anyone who was able to share that giveaway. It happened because of you. So I just want you to know that. And that is one small example. You should be talking to your children about what they would care about giving back to. You should be thinking about if you have any family members that have navigated specific hard wellness related things, or you yourself have, your opportunity is to contribute to that in a small or big way. And you can be super intentional with the resources you have, time, money, or both, and design your year around making sure that you get back to that consistently. So can you tell I'm passionate about that part? That's what I get most excited about. I love all of you achieving your dreams. You know, I want to celebrate you to the moon and back when you do. And when you tell me that you got to make a difference for someone else, it makes it all worth it for me, which is why we're called the Legacy Collaborative, because we leave our legacy in how we show up every single day. All right. Did you write down your answers on the economics section for yourself? Yes. Okay. Now we're in growth. Who here likes to grow as a person or in your business? Raise your hands. Put both up.
I've only been growing sideways.
Tanaya says she's been growing sideways.
You know
Okay.
I do. This is my wheelhouse.
Awesome. So this section is meant for your growth plan. So when you're thinking about 2026, you're thinking about where would you like to experience the most growth in your knowledge, in your wellness, any area, right? So what do you want to study and get great at? I really love to help people think about, what do I want to be awesome at each quarter? Because then you can take all the books, all the podcasts, all the classes that you know you'd like to be taking, and you can segment them as much as possible and become great at something instead of dividing yourself over 10 million topics and not being great at any of them, which we're all tempted to do because we live in a world where people are constantly sharing resources, classes, books, podcasts with us all the time. And so we can get a little bit good at a lot of things, or we can choose to concentrate and become great. So whatever works for you, if it is January through December and you choose what you're going to become great at each month, or if it is, I'm going to choose what I'm going to be awesome at each quarter, I want you to think about what you want to be better at, and then just study one little tiny way you're growing each day. I will be putting out a list, it's not ready today, of all my favorite books from this year. You guys know about some of them because I've talked about them either in the huddle or on here. If you don't already do that and you are someone that reads, that's a huge way in December to contribute to the people that are in your database and on your social media, is to put together your book list. because I'm sure you have people ask you sometimes, and they would love for you to just be a fountain, not a drain, right? Don't just take all that goodness in and not share it out with people. Think about when you're taking classes, when you're learning new things, when you're applying new things. How do you just share one little tiny piece of that with them as well? Not related to here, but kind of. But in your growth plan, this is going to be what's one podcast or one section of a book, 10 pages, or what class or what video did I just put out there that's going to help people. And I want you to just think about, what does that look like for you each day when you're doing this review? What's one little way that you grew that? I belong to a couple of communities, so there's a couple things that are important for you to write down here. One is you want to predetermine your mentors and or coaches in your life for the following year. And as you evolve, sometimes that elevates, which is my word for 20, by the way, so I had to throw it in here somewhere. But as you're evolving in the different areas of life, you're probably going to continue to choose higher level people in your world for you to learn from. So if you don't already have your 5 key mentors for 2026, make sure that you think about that. And anytime that you're talking to them, that is included in your growth for that day, right? And they don't have to be someone that you think is even possible for you to spend time with. No one's off limits. So whether they're still living or not, you can choose to go intentionally absorb information from whoever you want to be more like. So that's important. And then also I'll share with you, so communities wise. So this year, personally for me, if you want to listen to some examples, I joined a group called I Love Coaching. That is a group of, and Rasa is now in it as well. It is a group of coaches that are authors and speakers and big coaches that are in different industries across the country, so that I could collaborate with other high-level coaches and make sure that the way we're growing and developing is going to be the best benefit to anyone that is in the Legacy Collaborative or any coaches I partner with or refer to. And then I also, thankfully, was able to join the Inner Circle with John Maxwell and Diana Kokoska. So I'm in a small group with only 25 leaders that spend time together a couple times a month, combination of in-person and digital. And there are 3 things happening from that. And this can happen in any group you're a part of as well. Number 1, I'm learning from John Maxwell. He's been one of my top 5 mentors in life. I've been in small rooms with him before, but not been poured into as directly as him knowing how to say my name and what my goals are, which is happening right now. I'm so grateful for that. Number 2, I'm learning and connecting with the people that are in that group in a way that we can all support each other in business, which is my goal for the Legacy Collaborative. My goal is anywhere any of you would travel, you would be family to each other and you would get to support each other's business. So that is how I want this group to continue to evolve as we grow. The third thing that's happening is I'm realizing I was conditioned, and all of us have been, I was conditioned for a long time, and the things that developed and grew me, they also kept me small. And before I started shifting the level of business owners I was around, I didn't realize it. So your opportunity is to continue to think about, how do you either create or become a part of groups where business owners that are in different industries or focused on different things than you are in a business conversation with you more often, so that you can learn and grow from them, instead of being so narrow-minded that you only think there's this one way and one tiny model of doing something. And you forget all of these other amazing ways that you could be growing your business, because you're a business owner. And the things that you found that work for you, you also can contribute to them so that you can add value to them. There was a lot to unpack there. I just really cared about sharing it with all of you. Tell me what you're getting from this conversation.
I think the conversation and what you just said, which really hit home for me, is how easy it is to overlook where we are, where we're doing business, and who is actually not there with our best interest in mind. And then, like you said, we get conditioned. Sort of the whole analogy of the frog in the boiling water, and it doesn't realize it's being boiled to death until, you can keep raising the heat. And this has been my journey for this whole year. 2025 was all about me understanding my worth, me aligning myself with people who actually do care about my business, because I pour so much into other people, and you've got to be met. You have to be met. in order for the relationship to really be healthy and to work and to really learn how to go where you are valued and are appreciated. And you are correct, Sandra. I do believe that we are conditioned to just be like, well, this is just how it is. This is always how it's been. There's obviously something wrong with me because I'm uncomfortable in this place. So it's really got to be me. And it isn't. So our alignment with the right people is so important. And this is what you have been doing with Legacy. Like it's just you are aligning the right people. And so congratulations. Well done.
Thank you. Y'all know I'm big on alignment, so thank you for support.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. And you are correct. We are conditioned to stay in places that we
That are
just
comfortable.
just sit still, look pretty, right?
And then it holds everyone around us back that we're influencing, because whether you know that you're a leader or not, you are. And all the people that you meet every day are paying attention to you. And even if you don't understand your own value enough to know what you're worth, you should care about the people around you enough that you won't stay small. So in the growth section, we're going to write down 3 I am statements. And it's really important around these that they are being related instead of doing related. So I want you to write statements around who you are. Like, I am this kind of parent, or I am this kind of leader, or I am this kind of coach, or I am, right? I am this as a person, instead of I am doing this thing. Because when you're clear on who you are, the doing becomes easier. You don't wonder, what should I be doing, if I'm crystal clear on who I am in this area. Who has a question around that? Because sometimes that can be confusing, and I want to make sure you know what you're writing. You guys all know how to do this already? Awesome. And then each day that you write about growth, you're also going to write down a thing that you're grateful for from yesterday, and then one thing you did well. And if you want to write one more thing, you can write one person that you helped well. Here's what happens when you focus on these things daily: it starts multiplying every day, and it starts compounding because you're focused on it.
What was it?
So a thing you're grateful for, a thing you did well, and then a person you helped well that day. For most of you, it's going to be hard for you to choose one person you helped well, which is awesome. All right. I promise we're getting to the challenge part. Are you guys getting something out of this? Okay, good, good, good. All right, the A is alignment. So this is around your health, right? Different than partnerships, which is what we were just talking about, Rasa. So when you're thinking about people in your world, relationships, you want to make sure that you are being a partner and that you're surrounding yourself with people with a partner mindset, or that you help them get there, instead of people that just have a personal agenda. So that's something to add to your relationships notes or your mentorship notes in your growth area, wherever that applies. It's important to be a partner and to look for partners. And then you can always help each other be better at that. But this A in legacy is around alignment and your health. So some people will choose that they're going to walk every day. Some people are going to go running. I'm not running. Some people are going to choose that they're going to eat healthy food, or just have enough water intake. But the most important thing to know around this is consistency creates identity. So whether it is I'm going to do yoga for 10 minutes in the morning, or whether it is I'm going to walk and talk for one of my meetings that I thought my butt had to be planted in a seat today, because we're conditioned to think we need to just sit down and stare at our computer when we really could be walking around the parking lot and actually moving our body while we're talking. Be careful with that. I did a walk and talk for some of my gratitude calls, and I was not walking consistently before that. And so some people got like an out of breath voicemail, but if that was you, I'm sorry. But just think about, when you're looking at each day for your week, how can you be consistent in moving your body in a way that works for you? Ross says there's lots of people on here that are consistent with their gym time. I'm so proud of you guys for that.
I'm so glad that you don't mind doing that, because the reason I was off camera is because I was finishing my workout.
Perfect.
I can turn my camera on now. But I did my workout, and
Proud
now
of
I'm
you.
eating healthy.
Well, perfect. What a good example of us talking about this right now. So just write down what your alignment is in this category. What does it say there for you on the sheet? Let me go back to.
Alignment?
Yeah.
Oh, it says A, growth.
Perfect.
What is one small habit that supports my health,
Yeah.
energy, or body today?
Yeah, it should say A, alignment. Sorry about that. We'll fix it. It will not be wrong in the journal that is written. So A is for alignment, not growth, and it is related to health. So the rest of it is appropriate. What's one small habit? And then C is courage or mindset. I really love this question. What's one small thing that you think often that holds you back? And if you don't know what that is, just start throughout your day, pay attention to anything that gets in your way. Most of you have a really reduced list that will answer this question. You probably don't have very many things, even though all of us have something. So you want to be thinking about any small thing, any small thought that comes up for you that holds you back. And then how can you rewrite it? So as you're studying yourself throughout the day, you want to think about how can I rewrite that little small thing that lie I'm telling myself? And it might not happen every day. You might find that it happens once a week. And the more often we practice recognizing that we're in that spot where we have a lie happening and we choose a truth, then we just become faster and more resilient, and we can teach the people around us how to be. So what is one small fear or story that you're choosing to shift today? And write that down. All right, I want one person to share that was deeply impacted by this specific question. What is something, a fear or a story that you believe sometimes that's a lie?
Can I share something?
You sure can.
And this actually has resulted from our coaching, our elite coaching. This mindset shift has truly, I'm not, out of everything, this is the one mindset shift that has truly helped me. And it's that conversation of winning the day. It just puts me in such a great mood knowing that I accomplished the more important things and everything else is just like gravy. If you know me, I'm always gonna say I didn't get enough done. I'm super busy. I didn't have enough time. I ran out of time. I had to do, and then changing that mentality has really eased my soul, honestly. So I'm taking that with me into 2026. Today, after we finish this call, I won the day. That's it.
Yeah.
I can go
Like
back to
that.
sleep now.
Go back to sleep now. Love it. Well, because you already did your part of the challenge for today. I love it. Yeah. So, and what she's referring to is when you look ahead at your day or look ahead at your week, what are the couple of things that absolutely have to happen? And the rest of it is gravy. Because we will always come up with 10,000 things we need to do. One of the things I shared with Pamela is it's never all going to get done. It's not. So when you settle on it's not all ever going to get done and you focus on what the most important things are, then it gives you energy. It causes more income so that you can leverage the things that you want to get done that you're not doing. It causes everything else to be possible. And you have to get clear, focus, take action, and then just know that you won the day. I love that. Did anyone else have a burning desire to share? You guys have great mindsets? You showed up today and you're all in for the challenge, so I would say that that's a good start. Okay, the last one for legacy is why. So I had to come up with the word for this. So the word was yield. And what it really means is what lesson did you learn? So this is where you write down what did I learn from yesterday's success or failure? And what insight is it giving me right now? You can also think about what action or shift am I going to make based on the lesson I learned, right? Because when you are reviewing this daily and you make shifts quickly, imagine who you can become. And then imagine us creating a world for our friends or our family or the people that we work with where it's okay to fail and make shifts fast versus a world where we have to be afraid to fail. All right, what'd you get from that? This is a daily review. What was your favorite part of that whole conversation?
I'll go.
Okay.
I think my favorite part is the courage part because I think since we're all women here, it's really hard to tell ourselves that we wouldn't be able to do everything in a day because we're pretty much superhumans when it comes to life, especially like if you guys are moms and are also married, like that adds on to I couldn't even imagine. I'm not there yet. But just giving yourself the grace to be able to say it's not humanly possible to do absolutely everything today. So it does take courage to do that. So that is my takeaway from today.
I love that. One of the questions to ask yourself when you find yourself in a place of like, I just can't do it all is what does doing it all cost me? Because a lot of times when we're working on a lot of things and we're associating getting it all done with what we're worth or our performance, or if we are worth anything, we're taking away time from being present with the people that matter most or the people that came into our world that day because we're too rushed on our to-do list and we're not present. And amazing things happen when we can just slow down and be present. All right, two more people. Tell me what stood out to you in this conversation. How about two people that haven't shared yet?
I can go.
Okay.
I have a lot of thoughts though. I have a lot of things running through my head. I'll probably have to go back to
the courage. And what's one thing I'm proud of from yesterday is I have this tendency to allow other people's responses or the concerns or problems of the world that are going on inside of them send a reflection to me of my value or my self-worth. And I have been working towards removing that piece and not allowing that to affect the way that I see myself, my accomplishments, and the things that I'm going to do and build for my life. And yesterday, I saw a huge breakthrough with that when I had someone come to me and tell me that they were miserable with their life. Someone close to me tell me that they were miserable with their life and the life that they've built. And under normal circumstances, I would have taken responsibility for those words for them. And I would have created a whole new path for them so that they could find joy and happiness. And not only did I not allow myself to go to that place and provide that, because it wasn't mine to provide to them, it was also nice to be able to just sit in that space with them and hold their hand through it and know that they were so capable and so amazing and that they were going to build the life that they wanted and how it looked for them, and they did not need my interpretation of what that was going to be. So to understand, not only did I remove the piece for me of taking on that responsibility, I was also able to show up in a whole different way for somebody that created so much more growth than I would have been able to give in my old way of thinking about it. So thank you for giving me a moment to pause and reflect on that today.
I'm so proud of you for that. It's so true. And all of us can take this on in anything we're doing in life and business. If we just realize that every human being in front of us is whole and complete and capable, and we treat them as such, and we respect them as such, and we see them that way, even if they've not felt that way ever in their life, we create possibilities and we create a form of love towards them that is going to cause them to be able to be the highest and best version of themselves. So it's something we can practice inside of our homes, inside of every environment we're in, understanding that every single human being is whole and capable and complete. And we can just love them into, isn't that amazing, Pamela? We can just love them into being the best version of themselves because we see them that way. Thank you so much for sharing that stuff. So good.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, one more person. What'd you get out of this?
Okay, so on the yield part, for me, one of the things that I have been learning is that it's really important to take note of what it is that you've accomplished, what you've done. Let me tell you how it worded. What lesson did yesterday teach me, big or small? So one of the things that I've done in the past is create that gratitude journal, just solely a gratitude journal that I take to every morning to recount the day before and maybe some to look forward into the day that's coming. But I just find that, when I can go back and be grateful first for those things that did get done, whether I had planned for them to get done or not, or those things that had maybe spontaneously occurred or whatever. I don't know, feel like I can bring that into my new fresh day and have a cleaner, clearer perspective of what to expect and, what I have, what's been given to me. So, yeah.
That's so good. Yes, being consistently grateful of what did work the day before or what you did accomplish is so important. And just seeing yourself through that lens of giving yourself the grace and also the kudos for what you actually did accomplish. The same way we would for someone else, but we don't always for ourselves, right? I love that. Thank you. Okay, so that is the legacy review. You have this as a tool. You can put it on your calendar. And so a couple things I wanted to tell you guys. Today's day one of the challenge. Most of you came to the call because you're excited about being a part of the challenge. Who here has not yet registered on the website? If you have not, that's a super important piece that you'll want to do before you go to sleep tonight. The website for clarity is thelegacycollaborative.co, and you would just go to events, and then the challenge is the second one. and you click on it, scroll to the bottom and register. Here's the cool part. I'm really excited because I am a dork about what I accomplished with the AI tool I'm using right now over the past few days. There was a lot of troubleshooting involved, but it's working now. So the cool part is after you fill out that registration, you'll go to the challenge tab each day. And the way for you to get the most entries possible, because I know everyone's competitive here, is you're going to complete all 3 tasks that are on that day's challenge. I have a video where I talk about it, and also you have a clear playbook of exactly what the tasks are for that day. There's always going to be 3. One is going to be business building relationships for your business, which is the first one. Second is going to be something related to either adding people into the Legacy Collaborative, because our goal is to get to 1,000 before the end of the year. So we have enough people participating in this challenge that we'll do it before the 12th. Adding people or engaging in some kind of commenting and supporting each other inside the Legacy Collaborative. It rotates between engagement and growth each day on that second item. And then the third one gives you an idea of a social media post related to what you're doing, so that you can get yourself out there that way and grow your business as well. The most important piece of the social media is not that you exactly take what's written. That's just an idea of direction. The most important piece for you to get it to count for the drawing is that you have the 2 hashtags, the Legacy Collaborative and Legacy Lights Up December, because I'll be able to search those on all four platforms that you could post on, which would be Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, thank you, TikTok. I don't go on that one very much. However, I'm going to search all 4 of those for you to have entries. So you have 6 possible entries a day. 1 by you doing the first item, 2 by you doing the second item, which is engaging or growing the Legacy Collaborative. And then the 4 different platforms you could post on. You could do 1 or none or all of them. But I'm going to be searching by the hashtags to see who did that part. And then make sure, this is super important, on the challenge page on the website, make sure you put your email in at the top, and at the end of each day, when you've done your 3 actions, click that you've completed it, because it actually goes through to me to show who completed their actions that day. And I'll be celebrating you every day, and I'm also taking the same actions that you are to build the Legacy Collaborative while you're building your business. Does anyone have any questions? Who here thinks they're going to win? Yeah,
Hey.
Steph's like definitely winning.
Yes, except I don't even know where to start. Tell me
Okay.
again. I'm so sorry.
No, you're
So
good.
do I go to apply now, or is there a different button?
No, thank you. So go to the legacycollaborative.co. This is so important for anyone who hasn't yet done it. Go to events, and the second one is view challenge details, and scroll to the bottom and register. So that's step 1. And then you're going to be getting an email, and there's going to be a post inside the Facebook group for each day for it to remind you to go to the challenge page. So you have the video and you have what to do that day, and then you just click that you've completed it. So you're going to have reminders each day after you register.
Oh, I gotta find your email.
Say it again.
So when I registered, I just registered again because I'm stupid.
You get email.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
you'll have, okay. I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
If anyone has questions, text me and I will help you. And I'm super excited for everyone. Thank you for being here today. Please, really quick, I'll come off mute.
Legacy Lights Up December.
Oh, look at you.
She just found my challenge page and I spent 3 days troubleshooting for it to work. So I'm happy that you at least saw it. Okay, great.
Got it.
Okay. So if you will, really quick, 100% of you, before you pop off, I want to honor your time. I'm so grateful you're here and so excited about what we're building together. If you can just come off mute really quick and just share the one top takeaway that you had from today, or what you're most excited about in the challenge.
I'll go. I'm just excited that I am going to power through this first couple of weeks, and then I'm going to go on my vacation guilt-free, because know I'm going to start the year great. Because the year starts now. It doesn't start in January. And I also look forward to not having New Year's resolutions, because I don't have resolutions. I have a clear goal. I have a GPS. I have a 401, everything I need to make it happen. So that's a first.
Woohoo! So proud of you. Awesome. Love that. Okay. Who else? Everyone gets to go here. Okay,
would say
Treva said to gain focus and clarity going into the new year. Love that, Treva.
I was
Yes.
going to say find rooms that help propel you forward. It might not be the same room as somebody else who you think that you should be in the room with. Find those rooms that help support you, grow you, and
Yes.
accept you for who you are.
Love it.
Love that, Kristen. Yes. And I love that you're here.
I'll go. I agree with Rasa, is that how you say it?
Yeah, Ross.
That this year was a year of learning which rooms that I didn't want to be in. Because I was realizing that a lot of people that I was around and surrounded by were very close-minded and haven't broken that wall to grow. And I started sounding crazy to them. And I know I've mentioned this a few times before. It's like I started like Shania's crazy. Like, what's wrong with her? And I'm like, it's not that I'm crazy. It's just that I want to grow. I want to change. I want to evolve. So 2026 is going to be about finding those rooms to be in. And one of my goals that I have put into my heart is to never be the smartest person in the room. So that is going to be my goal for 2026 is to always be surrounded by people smarter than me. And I already do this, but I want to do it more is to what knowledge can I gain from the people around me and be very intentional on the questions that I ask. Like, what knowledge can this person give me for free? And then if I have to pay for it, we'll work on it, but try to get as much free knowledge as possible.
It all is out there.
Yeah.
It's all out there. Everything is at our fingertips. Love that. And you add so much value to people all the time. So I'm glad, I'm happy about that for you. Okay, who hasn't gone? Treva shared, Pamela shared, Kristen shared. Who hasn't shared? I know. Go, Steph.
I really love the part of this where we're trying to build a family and a connection base that we can come together, especially if we're traveling to different locations, which I plan to do a lot more of going forward in my career. I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of you. I hope that you welcome me in your home when I come to wherever you are and that we can talk about all the crazy things and be more crazy together and grow and have the most fabulous life we ever thought.
That's right. So exciting. Okay, did anyone not get to go? Because I never like to leave anyone out. Everybody good? Okay. All right, well, let's go. Let's go complete the challenge. And I'm excited to see all your posts. If you want to tag me in it to make it easier, you can, but you don't have to because it's your business. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen. Always text me your wins. Don't forget, I love to celebrate your wins that happen from this challenge. So message me because I want to celebrate you. All right. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys.